Good morning and welcome along to this week's Fact Friday. You'll see that I'm joined by Sarah Webster, who's a Bracious partner in our commercial property and agricultural team. Sarah, it's great to have you on Fact Friday this week, and we have two questions for you today. The first question being, when we are dealing with farming clients, there are often two different types of tenancies referred to. Can you explain what these are and the key differences between the two?
When looking at tenancies of land rather than residential property in the agricultural context, there are two types of tenancy. The first being an Agricultural Holdings Act tenancy and the second being a farm business tenancy. The tenancy will most likely be an Agricultural Holdings Act tenancy if the tenancy was granted before 1st of September 1995. If the tenancy was granted on or after 1st of September 1995, then it's most likely that tenancy will be a farm business tenancy. It's really important to identify the different type of agricultural tenancy, as the two statutory regimes that govern the tenancies are very different. If the tenancy is an Agricultural Holdings Act tenancy, then it has far greater statutory protection. A tenant under an Agricultural Holdings Act tenancy will have security of tenure through statutory restrictions on the operation of a landlord's notice to quit, and therefore it is more difficult for a landlord to obtain possession. In addition, if the tenancy is an Agricultural Holdings Act tenancy and it's granted before 12th of July 1984, it will most likely have succession rights, which enable close relatives of a deceased or retired tenant to apply for a new tenancy. Such succession rights can be very valuable to a tenant. In contrast, the parties to a farm business tenancy have significant freedom to negotiate the terms of the tenancy. The tenant has no rights to renew and no security of tenure other than restrictions on time periods for serving notices to terminate. If a farm business tenancy is 2 years or less, it will expire at the end of the term on the term date, and there is no requirement to give a notice to quit. If a farm business tenancy is for a term of longer than 2 years, whilst it does not have security, it can only be terminated in accordance with the provisions of the Agricultural Tenancies Act 1995, which will involve giving 12 months notice.
Fantastic. Thanks, Sarah. And on to our second and final question today, being, we have heard a lot in the press over recent months about the Agricultural Act 2020. Can you explain the key provisions and how they impact on our farmers?
The Agriculture Act 2020, amongst other things, establishes the basis for farming support payments post-Brexit. The government will begin to phase out the basic payment scheme, which has been provided under the Common Agricultural Policy. It will be a gradual phasing out of payments over 7 years, with them stopping altogether in 2028. In England, farmers will be paid for the production of public goods. This will include the improvement of the environment, protection and enhancement of biodiversity to build resilience against climate change, increased sustainability in the farming sector, and improved animal welfare. DEFRA will be consulting on the changes, and there are a number of incentive schemes that will form part of the Environmental Land Management Scheme that are currently being piloted and will be rolled out in the next few years. On Wednesday of last week, DEFRA opened the consultation on the lump sum exit scheme and delinking payments. This consultation will run for 12 weeks and will close on the 11th of August 2021. It invites farmers to submit their views on the proposed lump sum exit scheme and the approach to delinking payments. It's important that farmers review and provide feedback on the proposals either directly or through farming associations such as the CLA, NFU or Tenant Farmers Association to ensure that their voices are heard.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Sarah. And it was great having you on Facts Friday this week. Now, if anyone has any questions, please do pop them in the comment section below or get in touch directly with either Sarah or myself. And I hope to see you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.